There's an echo. I think maybe because your app is on.
Yeah, both the devices on is the problem. You have to mute that. It's going over the boom here.
Yep, that's what this is.
Is this on Wi-Fi or is it on Bluetooth?
Bluetooth.
It won't.
Huh.
Okay.
The only other thing I can say is I could put my phone because my phone's already connected to the this phone, but whatever. I think we should just proceed. I don't think we should alter up.
Right, exactly. I'll turn this sound off. We can see if they're really going here.
Oh, okay. You can bring her over closer over here. You can just sit closer. Okay.
All right, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, great. Yeah. Do you have your video on?
Are you talking to me?
There we go. Okay, great. So thanks again. This is part of the Kauai team here. We're having our Tuesday meeting, Tuesday Super Tuesday. Well, most of us, all of us have seen your Darren Jensen video, and we all learned a lot. And so we just kind of wanted to dive just a little bit deeper if you're willing to. And so the first question we had was, if you are a Facebook user who's kind of using it as a hobby or a pastime, basically like 1 to 2 posts or less a week, what's the best way to effectively launch it into 2 to 3 posts per day without scaring everyone away, and doing that like all at once or kind of over a period of time?
Right. Well, I always tell my friends, my non-MLM friends, is like, hey, if my passion and my posts that are in an area that are not of interest to you, just unfollow me. You know what I mean? You can go and from time to time, if there's something important for you, I'll tag you, or you can go and, look at my photos. But, it just kind of happened naturally. I'll tell you though, I built a huge organization, belly to belly, of like 9,000 people before I ever put my first post on Facebook. So when I got into the industry 10 years ago, I don't even think there was Facebook. If there was, I wasn't on it and didn't know anything about it. So I really didn't even start using it to market it probably until, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. And I built that company, my last company, at $28,000 a month in income before I ever put my first post about that company. So my first caveat to all this is building belly to belly will always be more powerful. And it is, it's an extra tool that I tell people, don't lean on it, right? Everyone knows 2 people who know 2 people who know 2 people to 2 people, and you can turn it into 5,000 in 13 months. So I think that a lot of people want to use it as a crutch instead of actually using it for what it is a different technique. So the principles of network marketing are always going to be the same. They've been the same since 1900 or whatever, 18 something, when Avon was born, and 60 something years ago when Amway was born, and the principles are the same, right? You want to invite people, you want to pique interest, you want to give people the information, and you want to follow up, address questions, close. The techniques now have always changed, right? It was belly to belly, and then there were, used fax machines, and then we got to where we can use computers and landing pages. Now we have social media, but it's just, it's an advantage for sure if you use it right, because you can reach a lot of people, right? There's now 2 billion people, which is almost a third of the population of the world, on Facebook, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. So it's a great tool, but it's a great technique. But I still think the best and most powerful way is to do it by building through your network, right? When people say, well, I don't want to talk to my friends and family. Well, I think that's like, for me, just to be blunt, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You don't want your friends to be healthy. You don't want your friends to be wealthy. Like I love my life. I love that I'm helping people every day get healthy, and I love that I'm helping people create income. Like, I want everybody to know about it. Now, I know that many of my friends have their own dreams, and they have their own careers and businesses, from lawyers to doctors to business owners to pharmaceutical reps. And there's people who like to do what they do. And so you got to keep the filter that you're just looking to attract people. So the most important thing is to just kind of really be your authentic you, right? Who are you? What do you love? Like, I've always been super, super passionate about health. So it started out with posts like, hey, did you know the average American doesn't get enough antioxidants? Because my first company was an antioxidant drink. You know, did you know that, diseases cause, like, so I started just giving information, right? Information, started giving, just kind of giving information value. Like, I would find something out, I would learn something, and then I would go post on Facebook like, oh my gosh, did you know this? Well, or I'd share some science daily post or some and then every once in a while I was like, hey, you want a convenient way to get your antioxidants for a couple dollars a day, you know, and here, you know, I put a picture or something. So I think of anybody you know who's a realtor, right? And they're not going to be shy every time they get a listing to say, hey, I got this home for sale, right? And they're gonna blast it, or hey, do you know anyone that's buying or selling a house, or hey, it's a really good market, or hey, I got this great property. They're going to reach out to social media. And for some reason, MLM people have always pigeonholed themselves into a not so cool club, right? Like they think that a realtor, it's okay for a realtor to go sell you a house and make a $30,000 commission or a $10,000 commission, but you're worried about your friend. You're going to sell them a $40 bottle and make $12. And so I think the first thing you got to do is not worry about like offending anybody or pissing them off or like annoying them. You got to get that out of your head. This is your page. This is your business. This is your passion. You know, does that make sense? Like, you guys have to really, like, how much do you love? Like, I love doing what I'm doing, but even if I lost a friend over it, I would be okay with it, because I think, you know, I haven't, by the way, in 10 years plus, I have not lost a friend over it. But I want to attract the people to me that love what I'm doing, and they won't know what you're doing unless you tell them. So that's kind of like a blanket statement, is your Facebook is your voice. Now, right now it might be, I am calling real friends, you know, friends that you went to high school with, or neighbors, or, you know, at the school or the church or something. They might be family. And it's okay, you know, that I still get people after 5, 10 years, 12 years, you know, 11 years will still call me and sign up. Like, someone I've known for 8 years called me today and wants to sign up to be my customer, and she's in another network marketing company. And so you have to really think, like, who are you? What do you stand for? And if you're ever embarrassed about it, then you don't really stand for it, right? So I love wellness so much, and I love network marketing as a vehicle to get products to the masses so much that I don't care. I truly don't care. If someone doesn't want to be my friend on Facebook, it's okay. I'll catch you down at the movie theater, right? So does that make sense to you guys? Like, you have to love what you do more than whether you care about people's feelings. And trust me, I've gone through all the stages, from feeling I was bothering people, to I was being uncool, to being rejected, to being mocked behind my back or to my face. And at the end of the day, if they saw my paycheck, they wouldn't be mocking me right now. So keep the end in mind.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's great. So that kind of leads us. We were also just wondering, once you have a lead, if you could just kind of quickly walk us through the follow-up once you have a lead generated. I know you say you like to kind of get them off Facebook as fast as possible onto a Zoom, and just that process from there to, say, either a PC or what.
Yeah, well, this company is a little different. When I wrote that training, I was with a company that was a little bit harder to sell. This one, I think I just can't. I think everything Protanim's the easiest thing I've ever sold in my life. I literally think it's the easiest thing I've ever sold in my life. Like, I don't you? I'm like, I do. So the first thing they do, because predominantly my posts are about nutrigenomics or the little yellow pill, obviously, compliant testimonies, stories, victories, etc. So a lot of times I'll get okay, tell me about this little yellow pill. I instantly send them to abcyellowpill.com because that is, I want them to see that first. I know some people lead with the weight loss because they're either passionate about weight loss or fitness. Some people like the skincare. I lead with the Protandim, and here's why. Because in 10 years, the one thing I'd say is there's so many different products out there. There's a million weight loss products. There's a million vitamins. There's a million, skincare. Like the top 8 companies in the world have skincare, right? There's billions of dollars being sold in skincare and energy drinks. So you can't lead with those because people will be like, and instantly in their head is, oh, I already know someone that sells skincare. Like I might already know an Arbonne rep or a Rodan and Fields rep, right? Or I might know somebody who's in Beachbody, or I might know someone who's in whatever, Plexus, or, you know, whatever, one of the companies, and they'll immediately kind of dismiss it as, oh, it's another one of those things. Mm-hmm. So we've kind of made it a team, like non-negotiable in our team that you lead with Protandim. That's it. Now, once in a while we do those cleanses and say, hey, reset. But when we get people in them, we always try to sell them on the Protandim. Like, hey, this is why our company exists. So the first thing we do is send them to abcyellowpill.com. And if I haven't heard back from them, like, wow, or I might hit them back in like a day or so. I just go through my Facebook Messenger. I don't have any great, you know, way to write them down. I literally just, they're already, Facebook saves them for me. And I'll just say, hey, did you take a look at the, you know, video yet? Or, hey, did you have a chance to watch that? Or, hey, here's your mind blown or something. And then I'll just say, hey, you know, let me ask you a question. What, you know, if they didn't tell you already, what was the reason, you know, you, what was the post, or what was the reason? Like maybe they have joint pain, or I try to pull out of them, you know, what. And then another thing is try to find out what they're already using. A lot of times people are already investing money on things that aren't working. You know, another great question to ask them is like, hey, do you already take vitamins and supplements? Yeah. Well, give me a list of, or go take a picture of your vitamin cabinet. And I'll say like, how, you know, what kind of results have you seen from those? And usually they're like, nothing. And say, well, great. Well, here, ours is $40. You don't have to take any of those, maybe just that one, like vitamin D still, or iron, or whatever they're deficient in. And this is clinically proven to work. Like this is going to work. We have studies. This is science. This is a medical breakthrough. And what if it does? You know, what if you got rid of that joint pain, or you no longer had migraines, or you were sleeping without Ambien, or, you know, get them thinking about having wanting the result. And this can be done. I have actually signed up 100 people probably without ever talking to them. This can all be done during Facebook message. If they're interested in the business, then I try to get them on the phone to just ask them, you know, what are their goals, and, you know, have they done network marketing? What kind of, you know, experience do they have? What kind of network do they have? What kind of time do they have? And then I kind of give them a realistic plan about what it might look like if they were to partner up with us. You know, a couple things if we would do this. And I know that was another question, so we could wait for that. But just basically, it's a series of exploring, and you're going to find out so much more if you ask questions and keep giving information. I think the biggest mistake people make is information overload instead of just, you know, just asking them what do they want. And you might find that, you know, they may want the yellow pill. You might find that they also use probiotics and they could change. You might find that they also spend money on skincare. And, you know, we had a customer the other day spend over $500. They were ticked actually because they had to call corporate because they wanted to spend a little more than $500. And they're like, why would they ever stop? And I said, I don't know, maybe it's a compliance thing. But like, they were just like, I would use skincare and I'll use weight loss and my husband will use weight loss and we'll both use the Nerf 1 and 2. And they wanted to legitimately buy like over $500 worth of stuff. So just keep asking them, you know, what are you already using? A lot of the times people are already taking supplements. They're already using probiotics. They're already doing something for energy. You know, I have a friend that buys those little, what are they called? Refreshers or coolers or something at Starbucks, and they're more expensive and they're full of sugar. So I gave her some samples, right? So she gave me one and I gave her a couple, and, you know, I'm going to follow up there and say, hey, did you try them? Did you want to buy some of those and have them on hand instead of your Starbucks, whatever they're called, that are full of like so much sugar? It was ridiculous. And I was like, do you realize how much sugar is in this? She's like, no. So
Awesome.
Keep asking questions.
Great. You know what your success rate is moving people from, kind of a numbers question, from a PC to a distributor media? And this kind of, do you have a process for that? Or if they just want to be a PC, you let them be a PC, or you know, let them be a distributor?
Yeah, no, I mean, if they, first of all, I'm very vocal about what I do, and everyone knows I sell it and make money selling it. If, you know, if they're asking me questions, if they're exploring it, or if they say, hey, I know a couple people that might want this as well, I say, well, you have two choices. You can be preferred customer. You get the same price as a distributor, and you can get some points, and points can convert. I think every 2 referrals is about a free bottle of Protandim. which I think it's worked out. When it starts working, I don't know if it's working yet. And then I say, or, you know, the best option is, let's say you really truly wanted to order, let's say $100 a product a month. What if you had that every year is a tax write-off? So for as low as $50, you can get, because this is the foot in the door. I know everyone's like platinum, platinum, platinum. There's a psychology called the foot in the door. You got to get them to even imagine starting a business before you hit them with $1,200. So for as little as $50, you can get a spot, you can get a website, and you can start earning. Hey, will you close that door, please? You can start earning commissions as well as free product and stuff. I'm doing a training. Go out. My daughter. Brush your hair. I'll let you come say hi. It's like a little street rat. She's my little 8-year-old. And then, of course, if they've done network marketing, I just say, hey, are you open right now? If I, you know, because I do go with their pages and stuff. This is all personal. I don't know what my team does, but if there's like, hey, are you happy with your company right now? Would you be interested? And then I go straight for the golden platinum. I'm like, well, hey, I know you're going to go to the next event, so get a free event ticket. You know, you get your. So we do try to upgrade him, but you got to get him. It's just a conversation, and usually it's because they say, hey, my brother wants to take this, or my dad wants to take this, or hey, my friend. Like I have a friend that was literally at a bar the other day in Lake Tahoe. And she's 34. She's a school teacher, and she's been on the product for a long time. I don't know, 9 or 10 months. She loves a little yellow pill. And one of her friends, don't wear this outside. Come here, want to say hi? No. This is my little mini monkey. Oh, my little mini me. They're in Hawaii. Ooh. All right, beautiful. Oh, remember the pretty gold bracelets with the hearts on it? Miss Julie makes those. I'll show you later. My big heart necklace. My heart, you know, go away. He does. Anyway, okay. Sorry, a little monkey time. But it's usually just get them thinking about it, and if they ask questions, and just say, hey, you know, you could get a tax write-off, and you could start writing your cell phone and a few other things off. So you can actually make some money by just being a customer. And again, there's so many people out there that don't even think it's possible to start a business. And so you kind of creep them in. And like every time someone's going for a rank, I mean, oh gosh, I can't even tell you how many times, like right before an event, we have people upgrade to platinum. So we do upgrade people a lot right before events. Hey, get the platinum experience, or hey this, or hey, you got cruise points, or what cruise points, Bahamas points. And every time someone's running for a rank, one of the big things we do is like do a big push for upgrading. It's crazy how many people upgrade to platinums. So again, you get them in, you get them some customers, you get a paycheck in their hand, you just extended their belief, you showed them something that never they thought was possible, and then you can bring them through. Because the $1,200 is great if you've got an entrepreneur, someone has money, or someone who really, really gets it. But sometimes those customers are just, you know, their potential is huge.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. So after you have a distributor enroll and you pack in, you just take us through your steps of blueprinting and launching it, like through if you use social media, and obviously long distance, you know, that's a thing for us.
Yeah, no, we launch everyone the same way. Actually, we have like a little cheat sheet it's like a bridged version of the blueprint. And basically we just have them, you know, put some information in, set some goals, and then make a list of, I think I'm going to say it's 25 or 50 people. I'm trying to look it up right now. That's the one thing I was like, I knew there was one thing else I wanted to pull up to have as a resource for you guys, because I was actually answering all the questions. Let's see, launch guide. And we have welcome letter, and then we actually have a whole social media guide that's based off all this stuff that I trained with Darren, teaching how to people to utilize the Facebook. Let's see. So I'm just gonna give you this. Did you guys watch that? Or you watched it, right? Okay. So getting started, basically your back office login, password, your website. Check what purchase. How much did you purchase? Did you come into silver, gold, platinum, or other? Did you confirm your auto ship amount? And then your database. So we have 50 spots to put their name and then their ABC question mark. Because what we want them to do is All we want them to do is get them to watch the ABC video and get them to a launch event. If they can't get to the launch event, they want them to get to the overview. So let's say it's Monday and your launch event, which is a call or a Zoom, is Thursday. There's going to be some people are like, well, what are you doing? That we just send them to the overview like today. Like ABC video, oh my God, that's crazy good. Then we have an overview. It's just a Zoom that we put together and we recorded it. So we archived it. It's not password protected. You guys are welcome to go check it out. And then we invite them. So we have like a lot of scripts. I know the Blueprint has a lot of scripts. You know, what do I say to friends and family? What do I say to a business professional? What if they ask questions? You know, simple little things like, hey, the company's publicly traded, has already done over $1 billion in sales. You need to see exactly what I saw and heard. Trust me, can you make it on Thursday at 7? You know, what if they say if they can't make it? Great. When's as soon as you can take a look at a video? I'll send you the recorded version. If you can't come to my live version. And then we either do a Zoom or we do a call, and that's up to the host. So some people are, and sometimes this would be a perfect example. Let's say I enrolled Julie, or is this your house, Julie, or whose house is this?
No, just Stacey's house.
Stacey's house. So let's say I enrolled Stacey, and all of you guys are here. Now I would be on Zoom, and I would just go to screen share. I would pull up our presentation, and I would actually give you the same information, and you guys could be seeing it. So whether someone's in a living room with a guest, and then tonight, one of our leaders in Colorado, she did a live living room meeting with tons of guests and hooked up her camera and Zoomed it for our Florida team. So that literally she had people 3 ways: in a Florida living rooms, in her personal living room, and on people just coming in one-off from Zoom in other areas that weren't in those living rooms. So we just our thing is just get the information to people as fast and often as possible. That's kind of our thing, is like tell the story. You know, our job is, I think I read this in the Blueprint, our job is to connect people to the LifeVantage story, to the product story, and to the income story. And so we have them do several launch events. You know, usually we try to do at least one living room, but a lot of people, because of geography, it's not possible. And so we just have everyone Zoom in or call in. Again, and we usually say that you need to probably call 40 to 50 people if you want to get successful, you know, anywhere from 8 to 12 people on your first launch call. And then, you know, after the launch call, we send in the report, or they write down the names, and then the follow-up. And we kind of help people follow up. Hey, you know, your sister was asking all these great questions and said she was ready to order. You know, get her on the phone with me, or, you know, what questions does she still have? And we have a call to action. You're one of 3 types of people. You either need more information, you're ready to become a customer, or you're ready to become a distributor. And again, you guys are welcome to go look at it. It's teamheart.net, and then you just go to tools and you go to overview, and our overview is there for anybody to see.
So much. This is amazing.
Of course. Yeah.
And Tara, can I ask on that question? The launch call is something that you do with every new distributor. You set that up. That's something that every new distributor does, is a launch call.
Yep. And if they don't want to, or they're young, or they're just kind of scared or whatnot, what we'll do is just say, okay, well, just, you know, use social media. It's funny. We have a gal on our team. I think she's like 21 or 22, brand new, cute little mom. She's got like a 10-month-old baby. She enrolled 25 customers her first month without picking up the phone and without having lunch, just from social media. Yeah, but she was on it, posting, messaging. I have one gal that literally 1 month she enrolled 43 people, and I don't think any month since then. This was she's been on our team for 22 months, and I'd say she's on number 8 this month. I don't think any month she enrolls on average of 15 to 20 people every single month
Through Facebook.
No, well, Facebook, and then also she has 3 gyms.
She has 3 what? Gyms. Oh, wow.
Gyms. She has 3 Anytime Fitnesses. But she gets most of them through Facebook.
Wow.
But I heard she just sits on Messenger all day, which is great because it's easy to get a hold of.
And you kind of touched on this in the beginning, which was helpful, but when you first started your personal Facebook account or brand, what level were you in your company? But you kind of mentioned it already. But business in the short term and the long term, like.
Yeah, I would say when I started, I was already probably making well over a 6-figure income.
Okay.
In all of them.
Some people that are using their personal page right now, they're kind of having like a business page as well, as that until they're getting to maybe a certain rank or kind of building a following. So I don't know if that's something you're.
You know, I didn't really have a choice because of my position with my last company. I got such a huge following so fast. I mean, I'm almost at 20,000 followers, and it's on my regular Facebook. And I did start a business page, and I think it has like 3,000 followers. But I think it's probably a lot of the same.
Okay.
So it was not even intentional. It was just that and my husband said I should have done a business page because you can message people. But I'm like, I don't know if I want to really message people anyway. It's not really I'm not a spam kind of leader. I usually, like I said in the video with Darren, I use attraction marketing, you know. I try to get people to like and comment on my posts because that makes it visible to every single person in their list. So I have people that are like, we have one common friend and she enrolled with me because she saw somebody liked my comment or my post and they saw it and went to my page and started following me and then enrolled with me as one guy in another network marketing company. So try to get people eyes on it.
And, you know, just with your experience, what is the most effective way, obviously the huge team, most effective tools to communicate and train with your team? I know you have a website, which obviously is great. And then Facebook, we're using WhatsApp right now. Yeah.
So we have WhatsApp groups, and unfortunately I don't know why, but they limit you to like 250 people or something. And then we have a Facebook group. So we have a group for our customers that you have to be a paid customer to be in because it keeps us a little bit more compliant because there's a lot of health claims in there. But we were talking to Eric, the compliance, Eric Merchant, and he says it's not the fact that Louisiana State University, for example, did a study that shows that we kill skin cancer, right? Like Protandim kills skin cancer. Protandim, prevents reblockage of arteries and coronary artery hurts. You know, Ohio State did that. And then you've got the extending life and you've got the helps with MS. But it's when you connect the science to the selling of a product, that's when it's uncompliant. So our group is no prospects. In fact, someone tried to add 100 people the other day. We're like, no. And we literally check, and we literally have an honor system that every person in that group has bought Protandim and is a customer, because then you can share a story because they've already purchased, so there's no enticement going on. Does that make sense? So we have a customer group, and we do a lot of information every time, a new blog post from LifeVantages or something about NRF2 or some study. Every time one of the studies is published, we do that, and we have, encourage people to share our stories. So if someone's like, hey, I have arthritis, go to the search bar, you're gonna have 60 stories of people saying, I have arthritis, and after 2 months on the little yellow pill, I no longer have flare-ups. And we have a very bold disclaimer in the pinned post that this is not this is not meant to claim to prevent, cure, mitigate any diseases. These are people sharing their stories, and this is just their story, So, and they're mostly customers. About 13,000 people there in that group, and I would say at least 12,000, probably 11,000 were just customers. And then we have our team group, which is just distributors. And I check, there's only 2 admins, me and Rachel, and we check every single person. If they are not a distributor, they do not get added. It is only distributors, and that's one of the communication. And then our most probably active couple hundred people on WhatsApp, and then my leaders, probably every Pro 6 and above has their own WhatsApp groups as well. So that's where we blast like our calls. And then every time we go to an event, like an EA, we make an own group, and everyone give them the link to invite to the group, and we communicate. So like, hey, we're sitting over here, or hey, we're doing this, or who's going to lunch. And so we do that for specific events and groups like that.
That is so smart. Awesome. And that kind of leads to the next question of where you feel that you spend, where you feel the most time that you build your business goes to Facebook or through the calls, in-home meetings, and how much really? I mean, are you really primarily spending your time on monitoring these groups and growing the groups and kind of building your business that way?
Yeah, I actually wrote a blog post a few years ago that it's a pretty good blueprint of like where to spend your time. So there's 3 categories I spend my time in: recruiting, and then training and motivation, right? And then relationships building and communication. So when you're at 0 to 1,000, so let's say distributor to Pro 4, 1,000 a month, right? So in your first, like, until you're about a Pro 4, which is about an average of an income of $1,000 a month, you're going to spend 90% of your time recruiting, 5% of your time training, because your upline is still training you. Your Pro 7s, your Pro 8s, your elites, they're training. You're not training at Pro 2 and 3. You can teach, you can share, but you should spend very little of your time training other people outside of just like getting them launched. And then, of course, 5% relationship. Again, have them plugged in. So before you're these like Pro 5, you should have all your people being plugged into something bigger. You shouldn't be the one at Pro 2 like hustling every day to get every call out and every EA promoted and every LVA promoted, right? So have the system be doing that. When you get to about 1,000 a month, so Pro 4 to about 10,000 a month, which would be Pro 7. So Pro 4 through Pro 7, you're transitioning into leadership. You should spend still about 60 to 70% of your time. I would say a solid 70% of your time recruiting. The recruiting is still something that I do every single day, even at a lot of money a month. I do every day. 15% of your time training and motivation. Now you're starting to do the local trainings in between the LVAs, maybe sitting down with your Pro 3s or Pro 2s new distributors, right? Doing 3-way calls, having your own little maybe local meetings like this. And then about 15% of the time communication. You're stepping in, you probably are just you're in a group and then you're just relaying, oh, there's a call, here's a call. Oh, there's, and you're just kind of, you're filtering the communication and you're starting to build relationships, right? You might, do something special for Pro 5s, at the Pro 5 Summit, or you might, have like a leadership breakfast or dinner at an EA. You're starting to take really good ownership in those ranks. And then once you're above that, 10,000 a month and beyond, you'd probably spend 50% of the time recruiting, 35% of the time training and motivating, and 15% of the time communication. So, I mean, majority of the time, always, if you want to continue to go up and up and up and up and up, I'll never stop recruiting, even at Pro zillion, I'm never going to stop recruiting, because I'm not going to ever stop recruiting, not because I want the money. It's because I love what I do so much, and I see so much positive, coming from results that people are having on the products and victories that people are having in the business. Why would you ever want to stop? I feel like we're bringing people to the promised land. It's like Mother Teresa didn't just I've already saved enough lives. I'm done. I'm going to retire on the beach, right? I feel like it's a mission. It's so much more than a business. This is a mission for me. So, and then, so you're kind of you're in the beginning, you're kind of building your list, you're making calls. So recruiting is building your list, making phone calls, using tools and systems, inviting to events, getting launch events, 3-way calls, asking guests to get started. Training and motivation is making sure that the newest person in your team has gone through the blueprint, maybe whether you do it one-on-one or again, like locally every Saturday, hey, someone bring muffins, you bring fruit. Let's do a quick 2-hour blueprint, go through the blueprint, start making their list, start getting them in, maybe even texting out the ABC video. 1 big local training per month, which is great because you guys have the LVAs. And then of course, all national regional events. And then communication is creating leaders, equipping leaders, making sure that, once you're up in the 4 to 7s, you're working with the Pro 1s through 4s to get them to that next echelon, leading by example always, and systematizing things. So once you find something that's working, let's say that there's 5 new distributors this month in your area, and LVA just passed. Well, you don't wait for the next month to get people started. Maybe someone hosts, like you guys are doing now. Everyone brings a notebook. You guys share some snacks, and you go through and really make sure the brand new person knows exactly what to do. People don't quit most of the time they quit because they just never started, because nobody actually showed them what to do. And then they were scared to do it. And quite frankly, this was your dream, right? And they were just going along, they signed up and they lost their motivation, and no one ever reached out to help them again. So, but I would say that when you're on your road to Pro 5, most of the time you should just be recruiting and plugging into your upline.
Got it. Awesome. And the last question we're just wondering if you could just talk a little bit on branding and, Team Heart. You guys are so laser focused, and just it's so awesome to see. It's been such a great inspiration, and you always have a lot of things going on, but there's a lot of clarity there. And we were wondering, do you promote leaders to have their own names, or do you keep it all under the umbrella of Team Heart, and why?
Yeah, no, we let them, because at the end of the day, it's like we're independent distributors.
Yeah.
So yes, I want leaders to lead. I don't want to be the deal. I one day want to actually not have anybody rely on me, for the everyday ins and outs and questions, right? So yes, we do. Marilee, one of my gals, she was like 4,000 or 5,000 away from Pro 7 last month, but just run out of steam like the last day. And she has her own group. They call it Team Heart Synergy. And then another one of my gals who's Pro 6 on her way to Pro 7, they're in Team Heart, but they're the Global Wellness Warriors. And then we've got our Australian team has a name, and then we've got Team Heart UK and Team Heart Canada. Yeah, they all have their own, because especially with the different markets, like Canada has to have their own group because they have to communicate. Australia has to have their own group. They have different products, different, everything, different compliance, different ingredients. And then, once I tell people, like, probably Pro 6, once you're Pro 6, I don't care if anybody wants to do it. I just tell them at Pro 3, why would you want to have your own group? You're gonna let the newest person not be connected with, 2 Pro 9s because you have an ego. Like, if you're a network marketer, go for it. But I want my people plugged into as much as they can, right? When I was new, I would have died for my upline to have a group like we have. So. But at the end of the day, I'm not anyone's boss. I bless them and love them for whatever decisions they want. But I would say, if you want my honest opinion, if anyone asked me, I would say Pro 6 is about probably the earliest I would start branching off.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I know you only had a little bit of time, but that's pretty much what we have for questions. If you want to add anything else. And I had just one tiny extra question.
Yeah, go on.
You and Rachel, obviously, you guys work together. As you talk about the amount of time you used to spend, I get that it seems like everything you do really well. And I know that takes time, and there's a lot of groups that you have, and the Facebook and then the website. Is it just you two that are mostly running that? Wow. Yeah,
it's only us. In fact, it's mostly Rachel. I'm not technologically, like, I run the Facebook groups, and I do a lot of that, and I do all the admin stuff for that and the WhatsApp stuff. But like she and I, like, for example, for our overview, it was a couple hours of her and I brainstorming, and then she is an unbelievable technological whiz. So find the person on your team that, like, I could sit there, we could do a half an hour call, and she'll make a 40-page PowerPoint as a global recap. So like every time we leave a global or an EA, she literally goes and takes pictures of the event and grabs them and makes slides, puts every new promo, she's just really good at it, and she can do it really fast. Like 2 hours, she can pop out a 4-hour presentation. She's so good. And so I'm just like, I'm the help the brains. Like, I'm the idea person. I'm like the creative person, but she's tech. Like, she puts together these unbelievable guides, like social media guide, launch guide. She puts it into words, but she did all the website. I helped. I helped pay for it, but I write the checks. When we put together, yeah. But we do it. We do an event at every big event. We have a meeting just to recap, do recognition. We have a panel of our top producers, and they talk, and it's just one place to come together every few months as a team. So I would highly recommend doing that. We rent a room, and we do charge like $5 or $10, whatever. I think it's like $5 last time, because the rooms are like $1,000 to rent. And we make the most out of it and come together as a community. But after 10 years in the industry, we knew what we wanted, and we knew what people needed. And it was our sole mission that when we started a new company and a new team, that we wanted it to be an extraordinary place, because there's a lot of people that get hurt in network marketing, whether they left behind or they have a bad relationship with the upline, or they didn't feel loved because they weren't the top producer. And So our motto is everyone matters and everything matters. And we do take that to heart. And it's sometimes hard with people because you're like, you know, something happens, you're like, everyone matters, but everyone matters and everything matters. So we do hold ourselves to a high, we do hold ourselves to a high, what's it called? Bar. It basically is like everything matters. So everyone getting launched right, compliant, everybody being compliant, everybody being ethical, everyone, you know, showing up their best. And that means us showing up our best for the team. But I think you guys have all created such a beautiful team. I've met many of you, and I know Julie, and you're such a beautiful person. I can't imagine your team's not awesome. So
Thank you. We're awesome too.
anyone else? I'm not in a huge hurry. Like the kids are playing outside. So anybody have last minute questions?
Okay, cool. Yeah, we have a couple questions, but I think, you know, it's refreshing to hear. Like, I think kind of how we all got started on the island. We didn't have a huge, massive upline, and of course they're, you know, out in the States, so we did the best that we could. But I can see like how it just kind of morphs into better and better. And when you said that you came into this company and you kind of already almost seen everything that did work and everything that didn't work, and that you wanted to make it as good as you could, and it shows. Like I can say that we're all super impressed of what you and Rachel and your team have accomplished, and with the name Team Heart and everything, it's been an inspiration for us. So thank you for what you do and taking the time. And I know this is Jennifer Murray, Pro6. You know why she has a question. I think Carrie did too. So
I'm wondering how to phrase this, but I can say that I have lost a lot of time training and helping new distributors that didn't ever, you know, that went to the wayside, let's say. And I just wonder if you have like I don't know if you were at the Pro6 in that meeting in Denver with Brandon Cunningham. He started to say, I figured out a way to tell if anybody's going to do something in the first week. Would you like to know what that is? And then John Maxwell came up on stage and I was like, no, leave that in. Like, is there some, you know, how do you make people step up and maybe you kind of cut the cord? Or sort of draining your time and energy? I'm not talking
Well, first of all, that's the hardest thing that I've had to come to grips with in network marketing, is that not everybody will do it. I mean, people are quitters, unfortunately. 97% of all gym memberships, or 93% of all gym memberships, are never used past like one visit. Yeah. And I mean, think about it, they sell 4,000 memberships and there's only 10 treadmills. The math doesn't really check out, does it? So I would say the biggest thing that we do is we get them plugged in so they're watching. For example, I signed up a girl a year ago. She came in like with a couple $100 for the product or something, and then life happened. She lost her mom, and then 9 months later, she was finally like, hey, I'm ready. And last month, or like 3 weeks ago, became a platinum distributor. What we do is we get them watched, we plugged in, and remember, instead of trying to push people, we inspire them. So we're huge. Like one of our WhatsApp groups, I'll actually read you today. Like, let's see, number 2 distributor, number 8 third PC, you know, essential bundles, and we literally every day we shout ourselves out. And we keep a running tab of how many people we've enrolled that month and what they enrolled. Like you know, new PC number 3 and 4 plus current NRF2 customer added fat burn and cleanse. Like this, it's like a scroll. There's probably 500 a day, and this is probably our most active 250 people. And so we keep people in. You know, PC number 2, it's a boss, and then we ask each other questions. You know, number 4 distributor, number 8 PC. Like we literally like sit there and shout each other out and shout ourselves out all day, every day. And then, hey, good job, ladies. And it's like such a positive thing that we're just, if you can't possibly watch that and see 50 people enrolling every day and think it's not possible to enroll people, right? So every time they see that, it's a positive imprint of it's possible. This person's doing it and this person's doing it, and she's already enrolled 600 people and she's still doing it. You know what I mean? So we try to lead by example, and the highest form of influence is moral authority, walking the walk. And the highest form of influence is, you know, just people seeing you do it. So we continually inspire people by action. and the people who will finally get it. And I just don't think you can ever pull someone along. I had another gal, and her dad was sick. She was enrolled by me about 18 months ago. She just came back and enrolled someone that was a 6-figure income earner in another company. Like, people will come and go, but we try to tell them that no matter what, no matter whether they enroll 10 customers a day and 1 a year, or whether their life gets in, that everyone matters. And so we want them to be a part of it. And if this is still, the journey, it doesn't matter how fast they go, just don't quit, right? That when they're ready to go in or to up it or down it, like that we're here. And I think just telling people that from the start, like, you're going to have to do the work, right? And you're going to have to do some stuff, but we're here to support you at your pace, in your timing. And I think just knowing that people don't leave, they stay, and then of course they love the product, so they don't leave because of that.
Awesome.
So you can't push people. You have to.
Carrie, you had a question? Carrie, Pro 5.
I'm just curious, so with you and Rachel, how often do you girls get together to,
I can't hear her. Can you repeat it?
For you and Rachel, how often do you two get together and collaborate, since you're leading this huge, massive Team Heart?
Well, in the beginning, so we've been building this for, a long time now. So now not as much as you think, but like, for example, we're rehauling some stuff we're doing in our team group. And today she's like, hey, I want you to go live in the Facebook, because it's all me. So Team Heart is me, and then she's my biggest leg. But so I'm kind of there are people in Team Heart that are not in her team. Does that make sense? So,
Yeah.
so she likes me to communicate and do some of the training and stuff a lot. And she's like I said, she's like the president, and I'm like the CEO, the chief entertainment officer. Like, she's the one that's like, her personality types. I don't know if you ever heard the Enneagrams, but Carrie Dickey turned us on to them because, like, we're so different.
Right.
And she's the achiever. So having a PowerPoint and bullet points and, ready to go on a Monday night, or a recap, or when we roll out something new, or like when there's a product launch, she puts it all together, and then she wants me to just come on. Like, she's a sous chef and I'm the chef. So she does all the preparing, and I come in, I put it together, and we, but at the end of the day, everyone wins. And so we use our strengths. So when there's something big, like something that we're going to do together to communicate with the team, usually it starts with her going, okay, let's talk about it. Let's give ideas. You give ideas. She'll bullet point it out and be like, okay, here, go in there, video, Facebook Live, and talk about this. And then I go do that, or, train or whatever. So I would say up before conventions like EAs, more than and in the beginning a lot, but now everything's on auto. So I mean, it's crazy. I've never seen, in my 10 years in the industry, I was telling my husband there, I'm like, I'm getting kind of bored. I got to go and recruit new people, because like everyone's self-sufficient. And I know it's crazy. Like, we actually have a system that works, and it's easy. It's simple, right?
Yeah.
But probably other than that, maybe once a week. We live 2 states away, so I don't live next to her. So it's all phone and Zoom. But it used to be several times a week. Now it's probably once a week, maybe once every couple weeks. Just depends on, again,
Right.
that we going. Another thing that I was kind of looking to weave this in that's very, very, very important is, since the day we joined, we have used the incentive trips so much as drivers for volume, like huge drivers. Like, we find those people that are close. Like, I go through that report every month when it's updated, and I print out the list, and I know exactly who's on pace, right? If it's 10-month contest, you need 300 points a month, and it's the 4th month, anyone at 1,200 is on pace. And I'm maybe like 56 people on pace right now. Like, we pour gasoline on that fire. That's my focus list. That's Rachel's focus list. And I tie in their leaders. Like, when I get one leader, like my Pro 6 just made it, now it's like, okay, let's look at your list. Who's close? Anybody that's probably 900 above is really maybe 1,000 and above right now is still definitely going to make it, because people will wait, and they'll do all of the work at the end like they always do.
Right.
But we really try to use that as a springboard for getting people moving, because that's a huge deal. And we make a big deal that, you guys know, for those of you who've been on we just had 5 people at the Pro Summit that I don't think they'll ever leave the company. They were just like, I've never been part of something so amazing and so professional, and the vision, and like they are excited. And so we try to get as many people to the incentive trips, and then when we go on them, we make a big deal. We have team calls where we have 7-8 people share their experience. We do social media blasts while we're there after, and we make a really big deal. Like I'd say every single day we talk about the Bahamas, every single day, every day.
That is awesome. That's great. That's a great tip. Huge. Awesome. Anything else? What? Oh, she's in California.
California. Like I'm like 20 miles from San Francisco. So not too bad. There's actually a direct flight like 20 minutes away from me to La Jolla. It's like,
We're waiting for you.
I was, hi,
What happened?
hey, oh hey.
I'm Mantra, and this is my home with Stacy.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
We have an extra bedroom, and we're inviting you to come anytime. Sam Flake stayed here. You can stay here too.
Well,
This is
you
how
guys
we-
are in Kauai, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We might be coming over
What?
Thanksgiving. We might be coming over Thanksgiving just for fun. Just bring our family there. We love it so
That would
much.
be awesome. We could do a beach trip or something. We'll get everybody together.
Yeah, we're in our early stages. I told my husband, I'm like, that's November. It's only 3 months away. We like need to decide. So we were gonna maybe go with another family and their kids too. But yeah, of course we would see you guys.
Awesome. Yay. Well, we are so grateful. We'll let you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yay. Thank you.
And anytime, just shoot me a message anytime if you guys have any questions. I'm always happy to help.
Thanks, Tara. You're the bomb.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Bye.
Yay.
That's good.
Really.